The sights on it are just factory, which is pretty lame. The magazine release button here is a lot chunkier than on my last Glock, and I really like that.
The slide release is ambidextrous on both sides. The safety is ambidextrous on both sides.
The Nintendo Zapper Ruger LCP, my Wolverine LCP2.
This is a variant of the gun that John Wick used in John Wick 1. He used a P30L, so it's a little bit longer.
But you can see the 38 Special along the top, and it looks like it did almost as much damage as the 38 Special, even though the bullet's only about half the size.
Shoot her! Yes! For science.
Oh! Okay guys, so today we're gonna trick out my Glock 43X a little bit more by adding an extended controls kit to it that I got off of eBay. It's in two different baggies because they sent me this one and forgot to send me the rest of the pieces, so I had to wait until the other pieces arrived before I could do my business. So what you see on the table here is pretty much all you're going to need to install this thing. The roll of tape is very important so you don't lose any of your pieces. And then I've got my handy dandy little gun kit over here that I got off of Amazon for about 11 bucks. And I got a little mallet here just in case, but probably won't need that. But I like to be prepared so that I don't have to stop the video or do anything like that while I'm doing my work. So anyway, here's my 43X with the all the upgrades that I've done in a previous video. So we're not going to cover that again. I'm going to double check, make sure the gun is nice and empty, and it is. We're going to get the slide off of there for starters. We don't need the slide for anything that's happening in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that to the side over here. And now we're going to need to take out the two little posts here. So let me get my gun tool out. And it looks like these are slightly different sizes. So let's see, let's try this one. I like going with the fattest punch that I can because you run less risk of scratching up the gun that way. Okay, so we'll see if I can get this back one out with this one here. So I'll put it over the roll of tape. First of all, I think I'm going to go ahead and empty out this baggie so that I can put all my spare pieces in here. And I'll keep all my additional pieces over here. Okay, so we're going to take out the first pin. Just apply a little bit of pressure there. And there it goes. Might need some pliers to get it out the other side. I guess I hadn't thought of that. No matter how prepared I think I am for these things, I'm always forgetting something. Okay, so we're going to pull that out the back. Easy breezy. Drop that in there. And then we're going to get out this second one here, which is a little bit fatter, so I'm going to go with a little bit fatter punch. This one might be too big. Oh, no, looks like it's just about the right size. So we'll go ahead and apply a little pressure there. This one's definitely the harder of the two to get out. Sometimes you can finagle the slide lock here, and there we go. Out it comes. Go ahead and pull that out the other side. Okay, so Now we're going to need to take out, well, we might not need to take that out. Well, actually we might, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and take out the, I think they called this the locking block. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and lift that out of there. Okay, so here's our slide stop, and that's just going to come right out. And now comes the fun part, getting the locking lever out of there. Okay, this is going to be a little bit tougher than I thought. In most of the other instructional videos I've seen, there's actually a spot here where you can reach down in there and press the spring so you can get that out of there. This model doesn't have that. It's got this tiny little hole right there, but even with my smallest punch, I can't reach down into it. Can I get it from the side? Nope. And from the other side? That's a big fat nope. Okay, so I got the piece out of there, but it sure wasn't pretty. The setup on this one is not anything like I've seen in other models. Usually you can just stick something in there, depress the spring, and just pull it out from the side. But this one, it was so narrow that I wasn't able to stick anything in there. I tried a staple that I'd unraveled so I could use the wire to get down in there. That just ended up getting stuck. I used a paper clip and was able to put it through and pull it down this way to depress the spring, and that actually got the locking lever out of there. However, once that happened, the spring went flying. I was very, very fortunate to retrieve it. So next time I'm going to try and keep my hand over it like this so that I can hang on to the spring. But I had to use the pliers to get the piece out, so when you've got the pliers and you're yanking on it, covering it like this is a little bit more difficult. But that's probably what you're going to have to do in order to get that piece out of there. So yeah, not very happy with that setup. But anyway, let's see if we can get the new pieces in at this point. So we might as well get the hard part out of the way immediately by putting our new slide lock lever in there. And you should notice that one side is completely flat and one side has the little ridge. The ridge needs to be facing towards the shooter when you put this sucker in there. So I'm going to get the spring, put it back in that itty bitty little hole right there. Just drops right in. And I'm hoping that putting it in is going to be a little bit easier than taking it out was. So I'm just going to start over here at an angle and get it over the spring. So if I depress the spring a little bit, just need to depress it just a little bit. And of course it still doesn't want to work. Just enough to get the lever over the hump. Okay. And then I should just be able to weasel it in there and it snaps right into place. So there's my, oh wow, that is quite a bit better. This is the extended grab. If you look at it really closely, it's angled a little bit. So it's a little bit easier to grab it, which is nice. So that was the toughest part. Now we should be able to put the locking lever back in there. if I can remember how it went in. See, it needs to be facing... Holes need to be facing here, so I think it goes this way. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just sliding that right back in there where it went, because I need to make sure that I've got this nice clear hole here, because that's where the next pin is going to go. And we've also got the slide release lever that's just going to slide right underneath that sucker. Oh, actually, it's not going to slide underneath that sucker. I should have put that in first. So we're going to go ahead and take this back out. Of course, now that it's in there nice and cozy, it doesn't want to come out. There we go. Boy, it is just not my day. Okay, got that out of there. Now we'll put the slide release lever back in there, because it needs to slide underneath this section here, and you can't do that with the locking lever in. So I got that in there, and the hole is relatively lined up. As soon as I get the locking lever back in there, we'll make some adjustments. Okay, that's looking pretty good there. And now all we got to do is put the two pins in. So I'm going to put the back one in first, because that's going to be the easier of the two. We can get a little stability on the gun, hopefully. I'm just going to get my bigger punch out so I can tap that hole a little bit. Oop, and I pushed too hard, now it came through the other side. Here we go, perfect, nice and flush on both sides. So there we got one pin in. And now comes the one that's a little bit more challenging, because this one, as you can see here, has a couple of ridges right here. So you really got to be exact to get it in. So I'm going to get my hole lined up here. Looks like it lines up best if I depress the trigger a little bit. I'm just going to see if I can finagle that in there. When I reassembled this gun before, this was the most challenging part. If I recall, I ended up having to push pretty hard to get that sucker in there. We'll see if we have to end up repeating that here. Get a bit of a wider head on this thing. There it goes. Hopefully it'll just click right into place. And I got it. It's in there. Okay, and that's all there is to it. I would like to say that was easy, but it wasn't, thanks to this little spot right here, but the rest of it was pretty simple. And now I've added a little bit more silver to this gun and give myself a better slide release lever at the same time. I'll go ahead and get the slide back on here and test out that lever. Oh my, yes, that's very nice. It sticks out just like a few millimeters more, but that millimeters makes a lot of difference in the ability to work that lever. So yeah, really liking it. So anyway, that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching, folks, and have a good day.